Town's politics are interesting at best and extremely frustrating at worst. Council, the administration, and sometimes our residents seem to spend more time trying to make somebody look bad than we do trying to fix the current issues facing the city. Last week, a resident asked the mayor at our caucus meeting why an ordinance was passed 10 years ago to put all the income tax collected into the general fund instead of a capital improvement fund, where it was later, portions of it were transferred out into the general fund. I'm not saying it's a bad question, it just seems to be a moot point 10 years later. Our revenues currently are just enough to cover our yearly budget to run the city. That being said, even though I wasn't living in Seven Hills 10 years ago, it makes a certain amount of sense that the council 10 years ago would have made the choice to put money where it could be access to paying normal bills. I think we should be concentrating on the issues at hand, not what happened 10 years ago or 5 years ago. The city needs additional revenue sources. We know that. We have debt coming due over the next 7 years that will cause us to spend substantially more each year than we bring in. We have streets and parks that are in dire need of maintenance. I hear from some of the council that we need to cut services to the bone, but I hear from the residents that they are not happy with the level of services we're currently providing. They want their streets repaired, they want to see a street sweeper out more often, they want their leaves picked up more frequently in the fall, and if there's a dead animal to be picked up, they want it picked up quickly. They don't want to wait because it's the weekend or after hours. These are just a few of the comments that I've heard recently from residents. I've been very vocal about supporting the property tax levy as the most equitable way to increase revenues. Since everyone benefits from increased revenue in the city, all should be willing to share in the burden. I would like to see us put a property tax levy on the ballot rather than an income tax increase with an increase in the credit for the residents who work outside of the city. I understand that a restructuring of this type of income tax worked in 1984 and the voters might very well pass it again, but I feel it's a short-sighted move. Many things have changed since 1984, both economically and within the city. The first problem with this proposed restructure of the income tax is that it would not generate the revenue that the city needs to pay upcoming debt and do any maintenance to our infrastructure. The second issue I have with an income tax restructuring is that it puts the main burden on businesses in Seven Hills. In today's economic environment, it doesn't make sense to start Seven Hills with another strike against them in competing for businesses. A higher income tax rate than our main competitor for new businesses is a major strike against us. It's bad enough that Seven Hills doesn't currently have a large selection of business locations. This will definitely not help the situation in attracting new businesses. For the good of the city, we shouldn't put this off any longer. We need to come up with a plan that benefits the residents of the city, and we need to put it on the ballot in November. We need to forget what worked in the past and look at what will work today. Thank you.